billions of pounds in investments are leaving the UK, are Starmer's controversial economic decisions the trigger for an unprecedented crisis, pushing the British economy toward collapse? What's really happening, and could these policies be driving the UK to the brink of disaster with no way out? Don't miss today's gripping analysis in the video. When Sir Keir Starmer brought the Labour Party to power in July, many in the UK placed their hopes in the promise of a major shift. Labour pledged to rebuild the economy, improve public services, and create social equity. This raised expectations for a new era in politics, where democratic values and the interests of the people would come first. However, after the first 100 days, that trust has been shaken. Instead of delivering groundbreaking economic and social reforms, the new government has faced a series of failures in keeping its promises. Their policies have not only upset investors but also sparked significant discontent, particularly among those directly impacted by the harsh economic decisions. So, is Labour heading in the wrong direction? Are Starmer's policies pushing the country into a class war under the guise of serving the working class, but in reality harming the entire economy? One of the biggest issues right now is the exodus of investors.
Random policy, random regulation and random tax changes we've made over the last 20 or 30 years has made it very difficult to deliver.
According to a report from the Adam Smith Institute, the UK is losing more millionaires than any other country during this parliamentary term. This isn't just an economic warning, but a sign that investor confidence in Britain's future is rapidly declining. Why are investors pulling out? The main reason lies in the government's tax policies. Increases in taxes and tighter regulations on investors and businesses have created anxiety in the business community.
The UK's new government keeps trying to raise every tax that they can, and the headline might as well read, "The billionaires are fleeing the nasty UK like dogs," because the Telegraph says actual billionaires and everyday wealthy people are leaving.
Many smaller private schools, particularly those in rural areas, will struggle financially and may be forced to close. This not only lowers educational quality, but also harms opportunities for many children, including those with special needs. Moreover, this policy has generated strong discontent among investors and businesses. They argue that the government is attempting to wage a class war through taxation. Instead of creating a stable and business-friendly environment, the government is imposing financial barriers that weaken the UK's competitiveness on the global stage. When Labour took office, they promised a series of major economic reforms aimed at driving growth and prosperity in the UK. However, after the first 100 days, those promises remain unfulfilled, leaving many wondering whether the government is capable of delivering on its commitments or if they were just empty words. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has faced significant challenges in trying to patch the financial holes left by the previous Tory government. However, instead of providing sustainable solutions, the government has made short-term decisions that have provoked negative reactions from the public. One of the most controversial decisions has been cutting the winter fuel allowance for millions of pensioners. This doesn't just reduce the income of vulnerable individuals, but also forces them to face the risk of not being able to afford basic living costs. Additionally, the early release of prisoners to ease overcrowded prisons has been a shocking decision. While the government argues that this is a temporary measure to deal with overpopulation, many believe it could have negative consequences for public safety. People need to live in a safe environment, but such decisions only heighten their anxiety and fear. It's not just the controversial economic decisions that are causing concern, but also the way Labour has managed its internal affairs. After the first 100 days, Starmer's government has been hit with a series of scandals related to receiving gifts and non-transparent benefits, leading to widespread public criticism. Disputes over personal interests and a lack of transparency in policies have further eroded public trust in the government. Additionally, the constant changes in advisory teams, such as bringing in Sue Gray as a senior advisor, only underscore the fact that the government lacks stability and consistency. A successful government needs a strong and united leadership team, but Labour's internal turmoil suggests this is becoming a serious problem. As mentioned earlier, the impact of Labour's controversial economic policies goes beyond the present, affecting the future of the UK. As investors leave, Not only does the country lose investment funds, but job opportunities, technological advancement, and innovation are also diminished. This could cause the UK to lose its competitive position both regionally and globally. Moreover, increasing social division could lead to more complex societal problems. When middle-class families and those with special educational needs can no longer access quality education, social discontent will rise. This could result in conflicts between social classes, creating political and economic instability in the future. The big question is whether Labour can change course and correct the mistakes made during their first 100 days. If the government can recognise its errors and adjust its policies, it still has a chance to turn things around and restore public and investor confidence. However, if it continues down its current path, the UK may face even greater challenges in the future. Labour must carefully reconsider its tax policies and economic regulations. Instead of pushing for a class war, they need to create a business-friendly environment that encourages investment and economic growth. If not, they risk missing the opportunity to turn their promises into reality and lead Britain back to prosperity. In just 100 days in power, Labour has already sparked controversy and discontent across society, from losing investor confidence to causing social division with tax policies. The question is whether they can change direction before it's too late. Britain stands at a critical crossroads, and if Labour doesn't act soon, they may face serious consequences in the next general election. The future of Britain under Labour's leadership remains a major question, and only time will tell whether they can correct their mistakes. That concludes today's video. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below, and if you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, share with friends and family, and subscribe with the notification bell on so you don't miss any updates. Thank you for your support.